92 years of history. This has never happened before. Has never happened before.
And it's not happening in Brazil, not in Germany, not in Spain or Argentina or anywhere football has lived for generations. It's happening here, in North America, and it starts in 2026. The FIFA World Cup, and the single most watched sporting event on planet Earth, is getting a complete makeover. New format, new countries, new records, and for the first time ever, 3 nations hosting it at the same time. If you've never watched football before, never cared about it, never understood why billions of people lose their minds every 4 years over a ball and a net, by the end of this video you will get it. Because 2026 isn't just a World Cup, it's a turning point. Here's what we're covering: what the World Cup actually is, why 2026 is structurally different from every tournament before it, what it means for fans across North America, who the players are that you need to know, and why even the most casual sports fan should be paying attention this summer. Let's start at the beginning. The FIFA World Cup is a tournament where countries, not clubs, not cities, entire countries, compete to be called the best football nation on earth. Every 4 years, one shot. Winner takes everything. It is not the biggest sporting event in America. It's not the biggest sporting event in Europe. It is the biggest sporting event in the entire world. In 2022, the World Cup held in Qatar drew over 5 billion viewers across the entire tournament. 5 billion. That's more than half the human population engaging with a single sporting event. The Super Bowl, America's biggest game, pulls in around 115 million viewers. The World Cup final alone gets over 1 billion on a single broadcast. To put it another way, if the Super Bowl is a bonfire, the World Cup final is the sun, and the 2026 edition is being set up to be the biggest one ever staged. So what exactly is changing? Let's start with the most fundamental shift. For over 2 decades, since 1998, the World Cup had exactly 32 teams. That was the number. 32 countries earned their spot, came to the tournament, and competed. In 2026, that number becomes 48. 48 teams. A 50% expansion in one single tournament. And that might sound like a simple administrative change. Just add more teams, right? But the knock-on effects are enormous. Think about it from this angle. If you're a country that's historically good at football but has never quite made it to the World Cup, your odds just improve dramatically overnight. More spots, more chances, more nations getting to experience what it feels like to stand on that stage. And we're not talking about weak additions. We're talking about passionate football countries that simply ran out of luck in brutal qualification rounds. Nations with millions of fans who have never seen their team compete at a World Cup. Now they can. Here's something that surprises most people when they first hear it. Getting to the World Cup isn't easy. It's actually a multi-year ordeal. FIFA divides the world into 6 regions: Europe, South America, Africa, Asia, North and Central America, and Oceania. Each region runs its own qualification tournament. Teams play home and away matches over months, sometimes years, trying to earn one of the limited spots reserved for their region. In the old 32-team format, Europe got 13 spots for over 50 competing nations. Africa got 5 spots for 54 countries. Asia got 4.5 spots. Yes, half a spot, meaning one team had to win a playoff against another region, for 47 nations. The competition was vicious. Some genuinely excellent football nations never made it simply because the numbers were stacked against them. With 48 teams in 2026, the allocation changed significantly. Europe goes from 13 spots to 16. Africa jumps from 5 to 9. Asia goes from 4.5 to 8.5. That Asia jump is massive. We're talking about the most populated continent on Earth finally getting real representation. Japan, South Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Australia. Nations with enormous football followings and real quality, they now have a genuine path in. And Africa, a continent that has never produced a World Cup winner but has some of the most explosive, creative football talent on the planet, gets nearly double the representation. This is not just more teams, this is a different world showing up. Now let's talk about format. Because 48 teams doesn't just mean more flags in the opening ceremony. The entire structure of the tournament changes. In the old format, 32 teams were split into 8 groups of 4. You played 3 games in the group stage. Top 2 from each group advanced. Simple. With 48 teams, the new format creates 12 groups of 4. You still play 3 games. The top 2 from each group advance. That's 24 teams. Then the 8 best third-place finishers also advance. Total, 32 teams go through to the knockout round. After that, it's pure elimination. Lose and you're going home. Win and you keep going, all the way to the final. What this means practically, more games in the group stage. More moments where a team on the brink has to dig deep. More scenarios where a country playing their first ever World Cup match might shock a giant. More football. The 2022 World Cup had 64 matches total. In 2026, there will be 104 matches. 104 matches. 104 storylines. 104 moments where history can turn on a single goal.